already looking for the fight. Like, you don't even get time. Thompson's waiting up on the hill just to block AU and, you know, cut through a tree quickly, and Thompson's just waiting. Again, let me just stand in front of you. Paralyzing Cast won't even bounce for him. Jump forward, and they want to give this last hit into Thompson as well, and they've got it. So First Blood goes the way of OG, exactly what they want to see. And where's this creep wave skip that we're talking about?
What, by OG?
Yeah, by Thompson.
I have no idea what he's doing here,
that's what
I just realized he's dire, yeah.
That's what Governor was talking about on the panel before.
I agree with his opinion on the draft, though, because I think TNC has the edge. It feels so simple. I felt this way about EG's Game 1 draft against Secret yesterday, where you just have this natural way that the 5 heroes are going to play fights and play the game. They don't have any issues finding kills. You think about a team fight, Wraith King Sand can go in, TA is kind of your centerpiece, Lesh and Witch Doctor find areas to hit spells. And I do not know what T-Gov is talking about. I've never seen this before.
Thompson. Yeah, this is what I think he was talking about. The cast won't bounce. He's just pulling the creep wave, and this means Armel has to fight underneath the tier 1 tower early on, unless he can drag it back up again. It's a heavy amount of damage into Thompson.
But what does this accomplish? Like, where's he drag it to?
Back to his own tier 1 tower in mid, it seems. Armel's managed to get every last hit for the creep wave already, so he's not caring too much about that.
Is this... Okay, I mean, hey, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah,
although I
Witch
feel
Doctor
like
is really hitting him down.
If there was an area where, like, I would want to be contesting the TA, it gets you to level 2 without having to actually, like, tank side blades, but you've already taken so much damage. Yeah.
Thompson? That was interesting, to be sure. Top lane, Gabby's also on the run back out of here. Seb and Jirex trying to work together. He got one quick blast from the Wraithfire, but it's not enough to create the distance between him as well as Seb. And that's also a clarity cancelled on the Witch Doctor, so his presence on the top lane becomes a lot less. Yeah.
I like the OG concept, to your point. Like, this is something that they've done throughout history. 3 methods that they've abused, like breaking the rules of the game: illusions, damage amp, damage reduction. This is that standard OG Warlock lineup where you have either a Sven or some BKB core that's more single target focused. The Warlock Fatal Bonds help to assist with that. You've got a Beastmaster for further damage amp, but traditionally that mid hero would have been an Invoker. It would have been a DP. It would have been something that applies like mid-game tempo. Pangolier can do that, but it's a lot less reliable, and as you can see there, like, his laning phase is not nearly as good as a hero like Prophet.
You know, it almost feels like yeah, they said it before in the interviews that we just want to have a lot more fun. Like, in this, Death Prophet doesn't seem like a lot of fun to play. Pango seems like a lot of fun to play, especially with his recent changes. He looks a hell of a lot more fun. Thompson, he's freshly bottled up, can trigger his Arcane Rune, and try and force Templar Assassin out of this lane. And TA's not going in for that bottle. So Thompson will have the regeneration advantage here.
But he will not have the last hit advantage, or rather the damage advantage. He's already outmatched by 15 with our fraction. Once it's popped, Armel's getting every last hit.
It is crazy how much Fatal Bonds is doing on the bottom lane.
Yeah.
Like, Ana is spinning in. At the same time, like, okay, you say something nice about it. Edict, N0tail's trying to share the load, but they line up for the double Burrow strike. This is Tim's. You know Tim's is going to hit Thoris, and he hits it hard. Now N0tail, another quick Fatal Bonds up. Cuckoo's actually dying right now to N0tail because Tim's taking so much damage from the creep wave. N0tail needs one more hit, and you'll actually claim the kill in time. Tim's will make a break for the tree line. At this point, it's like, hey, Ana, if you go farm that camp over on the side, you may get the kill over on Tim's.
Yeah, the bright spot is, though, up top, the Wraith King is having a terrible time against the Beastmaster Grimstroke of Jarex, which is a surprisingly spooky lane, because you just max the Ink Swell on Jarex, you pop it on your Seb, and he just runs forward, attacks, gets the boar off for a slow. You have a lot of chasing potential in this top lane.
Tim's is dead.
Yeah.
Tim's is actually dead.
Dota.
Well, I was joking about it before. Do we just hear him scream?
N0tail literally just yelled out so loud we could hear him from 4 rooms down.
Oh.
I think I will say, though, that is a carryover from Han back in the day, where we always said, like, you know, more small, like, intimate events. You were playing, like, across the table from your opponent, right? And there's definitely a bit of psychological warfare if the enemy team hears you yelling as they die. Like, it's tough to deal with. And I think Noto definitely gets a bit louder when he knows the other side is in earshot.
Yeah, Thompson, a little bit of trouble in mid. Mel's going to kill him off. Oh, okay, no, disarmed. Stay. Okay, now gets the kill. But you're right about that. Like, it's kind of funny when you have like these teams who used to be so close to each other. I remember like doing some of the SCA lands, and these guys, like, I saw Ferrari literally shout down the other teams. Like, they were only 1 meter apart from each other.
No, I was talking with Notel yesterday about this because he's like, he was just laughing at, you know, some teams have got a lot of demands nowadays, and how he's just like, man, like, I get food. Like, they pay for my hotel. Like, I used to, you know, back in the day, you know, we were sleeping in hostels like 4 to a room. Like, this is great. I get anything. I'll take it.
Great movement from TNC. They're going to actually claim majority, in fact, all of the bounty runes at this point, and maybe even a kill. Jirax going to work, but underneath the shrine, yeah, that work is not going to be enough. But as Tim's with no tail has to burrow strike and get away. Shadow Word is out. It is going to be level 2, so maybe enough to kill off. No, it won't be. He'll be fine.
Once again, your concern for OG is just Armel, because the TA is the hero you will have problems with, because he's got that ability to take out the OG cores once he gets the Blink Death Zone.
Goodbye, Jirax. Yeah. Man, you're just going to be going down memory lane for all the old events, like where people got to face up against each other. Like the original TI1 boots, if anyone wants to go down and track down some pictures of those, like they just had glass between the players.
Yeah.
But some of the teams would actually rumble their feet on the ground to make the entire booth just shake, just to basically play mind games. But there was also a little fun thing as Ana. He's gonna try and get himself out of this one. The healing ward is down, but they get rid of that quickly, so Cuckoo will mop him up. Yeah. But just to finish that story, like one of the Chinese teams would have a habit of just rubbling their feet whenever they go for a gank, and this is something that Dendi was talking about, where they they could feel it, and they knew the gank was
Literally
coming.
feel it coming.
Yeah. Goodbye, Gabby. Dying to 7 underneath the tier 1.
That's the first roar. I love the Necrobook decision from Seb. I think they need that tempo. When you pick Pango, you've got a Jug. The OG lineup doesn't have the staying power of the TNC lineup. At some point, you know, Wraith King, Lesh, TA, they're going to get unkillable and just do too much damage.
Jirax is going to be in a little trouble. Like, he can swell himself up. He has an initial stun. They just try and split up, but they both get stunned by this. There's no mana for a paralyzing cask. Jirax can just walk it off.
Oh, well done.
Armel wasn't even there for the kill. He was there for the stack. God, how does Cuckoo play this lane? He gets hit by Fatal Bonds and just like, okay, we'll have to walk away now.
And I will say, love the change once again, because previously you had to wait until just enough creeps were alive to Fatal Bonds a hero to it, whereas now you just use it for harass, and you actually have a tool to play the early laning phase, because the Shadow Word was nerfed so hard that it really can't be used offensively anymore. It's just too much mana. It used to be 90, 110, 130, 150. As you can see, that 1.1 wonder is no longer really there.
Tim's, he's on the other side of the river. Probably doesn't really care. He's got this 2-2 build. Like it's a level 4 SK that's happy to walk up to Thompson and Jirax. Because what have they got against him? Like, there's observers and sentries down.
I think you're okay with that, though, because TA can just continue to farm jungle. And yeah, maybe you don't get as much as you would free farming the mid lane, but nothing on OG is really capable of rotating the woods yet.
TA is still #1 net worth. Trouble in mid. Gabby getting attack supports nearby. You can start with a roar and rolling boulder of Thompson. He's got the ink swell on him. He's actually moving up over towards Armel. Runs through him. #1 net worth. It's going to go down for TNC.
Well done by Seb there. That's all the Necrobook. It's after the HOD nerfs, I think this is the right choice, because you can already see, look how strong he is. It's 8 minutes in, and Seb has a zoo with him.
They're just trying to kill off Witch Doctor with the bounce damage down. Cuckoo's taking so much damage too because he killed off the Necrobook. They were still connected by Fatal Bonds as well.
Yeah. I like this from OG. You know, I don't want you to fight TNC when they've got an advantage later on in the game. But this early phase, when they're trying to accelerate and get all their cores online, yeah, get aggressive. Utilize this Thompson Pango pick, the Seb Necro Rush. Like, you can't lose a fight right now, so just continue to rinse, repeat, find these engagements.
And it feels exactly like the classic OG. Like, oh, 4 people are fighting, where is Ana? Yep. He's farming up on bottom, he's pushing a tier 1 tower down, he's getting solo experience. This is how they've always run this for, even if it's over-aggressive. Like, we lose 2, we'll lose 3, we don't care as long as our big core is able to come online.
Yep.
I mean, they use that net worth. Like, Seb is #1 net worth on OG by a decent margin. But what does he get? As you said, like, he gets a necro booked for something that enables him to do this.
And you can also see the interesting thing about just having last pick versus not, where TNC, they got a 10th pick outclass game. TA is not nearly the same hero with the amount of farm Armel has received thus far.
Traps are good. Traps are great. Traps are golden. Thompson jumps down, disarms him underneath the tier 1 tower. Yeah, he's not going to take the damage from it. And no, Thompson, careful. Oh, he's cutting through. Oh, the Traps on his side as well. Here comes the Witch Doctor. Find him. He needs to jump himself away. Bottom lane's having his own fight in the meantime. Tims is waiting in the tree lines. Thompson's got the Rolling Boulder away. Or Rolling Thunder away. This ain't no ES. Dodges the Maledict damage because of it. And the last pop. Oh, he's still up 127.
Not bad. Well done by Thompson there. Although I do believe Armel had range on that trap behind tower if he'd wanted to go for the kill. But it feels very similar to the previous game. It's just that instead of having 10k net worth, Armel has 5. And it's just because he's playing a different hero. His CS might even be higher in this game in comparison to last at this timing. And in addition, OG, they have that team fight edge. They didn't go for this, they don't have damage problems like they did last game because they've got Fatal Bonds, which also is, in my opinion, the best synergy with Grimstroke, like in Dota. I've said yesterday, Fatal Bonds is your true ultimate. If you pop your Grimstroke ult, it hits 2 heroes, and you throw Fatal Bonds out, it gets cast twice. It's 2 separate instances. You take an absurd amount of damage, and that's without any creeps or other heroes being in the vicinity.
You know, I actually like to start a campaign right now. Like, it's, I don't know if JJ can go to that little hawk that's just working its wings off. Please save the wings of the hawk. Why does it have to twitch like this? It's twitched for so long like this. All right, back to something real. TP out. Tier 1 tower will fall on bottom lane, but save the hawks, save the wings.
And another thing I like about what OG's done so far is you look at the item synergies, right? The Necro Rush on Seb.
Look at it.
Can we focus on the game?
Oh, there's a little butterfly. There's a little butterfly that's there flushing with him.
Bottom tier 2.
Okay, fine.
There's Dota going on.
I bend to your will, Kyle.
Hey, look.
Hey, there's another hawk there.
Oh my. Look, you got the easy javelin.
Oh, the better ones. Connect him up. No, wait, they've killed off the creep wave too quickly.
I'm done. You're in charge of analysis for the next 10 minutes, Toby.
Only if a techie gets picked.
I'll point out differences in the trees, because I've personally always been fond of firs, and I feel like in Dota we've got way too many evergreens.
Yeah. Hey, is that a ficus?
Look, this is the thing about the OG lineup. You've peaked. It's 12 minutes in, you've got drums, Necro, a Warlock behind you. You can do whatever you want. And this is when I feel like OG plays the best. They have tempo. They can control the pace of the game and force TNC to move as they want them to. You don't want TNC to be able to play their game. That's when they look like a tier 1 Dota team. In a game like this, where it's more about map movements, farming patterns, item decisions, power spikes, it's complicated. This is where they struggle a bit, and I think OG can look to abuse their experience here as we watch this play out in the mid game.
Yeah. I feel that like obviously we're feeling like very different from game 1. Like game 1 is like, man, TNC are just rolling over this and OG doesn't like making a lot of sense. TP out from Cuckoo, that won't work. No-Tail drops the rock, and Cuckoo gonna drop every bit of mana he's got. He wants to try and live. He has the regeneration room, but the Shadow Word was on him. So he'll die to the tower, but the kill still belongs to OG.
You're cool with that, though, because this means Ana's like, all right, I'll go farm the woods, and now No-Tail, just with that Golem, he can deal with top lane, even with a Wraith King here.
How many traps have they prepared here in mid? They're everywhere. Running onto him with the army. Here comes Thompson, gonna Rolling Thunder himself in and back and just try and keep Armel permanently stunned. Even the Omni Slash being committed. And Thompson just keeps jumping through the back lines. Tims can hide inside the Sandstorm for the moment. I don't know what he's looking to achieve apart from he has Epicenter available. With the Hellfire Blast over on Pango. Still jumping around, disarming the Wraith King. Cannot use any of that physical damage he wants to.
It feels like a repeat of the last game, but with a different side on top, where OG, anytime they group up and look for a fight, there's really nothing TNC's got in the arsenal to deal with it.
Here's your connection. Jump on down. Everyone's Fatal Bonded. The damage output. If they could just hit one of these heroes, OG would go ham.
Huh. It didn't apply a second instance, though.
It did not.
Because the thing is,
when you said that before, I was just like,
refresher. When I use refresher playing Warlock, like it puts another one on. Like it definitely works. Unless it's been changed, like I just haven't recognized. I'll have to test it, but could also be maybe that you need vision of the other hero. But I thought it's been. I don't know. I don't know. It's an interaction I haven't got to see before.
All right. Well, we'll throw that one to the Brains Trust out there. Find out how interaction works between Grimstroke having that soul bind as well as Fatal Bonds. Goodbye, Thompson. He'll send his own body back to his side of the river. And TNC, yep.
And there's the Deso coming out. So, you know, Armel is still probably the strongest hero in this game, like he was previously. But you're a TA. He's going to fall off. And in addition, he doesn't have that ability to just walk at the enemy and be unkillable and deal the most damage. If he gets roared,
if he comes OG. Straight into Gabby. Roar is out. They're going to burn off the mana. 160 needs to be dropped below that. Oh, there goes your reincarnation. Here comes Cuckoo. Rotovatov's going to work. He wants to kill off the Beastmaster. And he's going to rip straight through them. Working with Armel. The spin is out as well. They're going to get the kill on the wall. Cuckoo is still dying so quickly thanks to Anna and Thompson. He's able to disable the Templar Assassin, disarming him up. Ends up being a 2-for-2 trade-off. OG were definitely the instigator. Someone to get that bounty rune as now Thompson jumps down the Burrow Strike. It's going to be good on him, but they're able to get the silence out. They hold that SK out of the fight, allowing him to chase down Gabby. They won't get the big one. They really want to kill off Gabby as Tim's can hide inside the Sandstorm. They have no detection available, so it will remain at a 2-2 trade.
If you're okay with that, I think if you're OG, keep in mind that was going through the Wraith King ultimate, and all of TNC was there to immediately take out Seb. They blew a lot of spells just to get that free Aegis cooldown, and they still ended up in a 2-for-2. And once again, this is the strength of this Pango pick, where you can see the initial arsenal of spells, you only get this ult. TNC look to close in, Sankin getting there a bit late, but you see Thompson just TPing. The moment he arrives, this fight changes, and even though Armel is standing in the middle of this fight, he's doing so much damage, but he can't actually do it. Like, look at this, look at that.
Yep.
It just spells. And in addition, the spin, the Pango swashbuckle, like you're getting rid of the refraction immediately, and TA is just too squishy to stay in these fights. Once all of OG arrives, at least. And now it's an easy roche for them. Knowing there's no Wraith King ult, knowing they have this team fight advantage, they've got Golem back up. You just cannot contest a choke point as the side of TNC.
And they've got such great vision too, like these Beastmaster Hawks are up, they're seeing TNC coming, so even if they wanted to contest, they'll be caught out of position.
Yeah. And to your point, going back to Seb and his performance this game in comparison to last, you just feel more confident when you watch him play this type of hero. He's the playmaker, he's controlling the pace. He is a part of all the moves OG have made, and he's going for like this aura item. And a lot of that is also because he's the primary shot caller for OG, and as someone who's been a shot caller, been a captain at multiple different roles, when you're playing offlane specifically, it's so hard to do that as a hero like Prophet, because you need to worry about your own game. You need to be an Admiral Bulldog. You need to be selfish. You need to just let your team do whatever they want as you try and play PvE. It's very difficult to coordinate moves while you're microing trees and trying to ensure you maximize your farming patterns.
Thompson going into the Rolling Thunder. He got maledicted up, just was trying to kill off the Witch Doctor. Grimstroke will hold him there. She pushes him down, and Thompson won't care. A jump down with the swashbuckle will find the kill.
Another notable thing is that TNC have no method of canceling a jug spin TP, which means Ana's very confident just continuing to play this top side of the map, or bottom, doesn't matter. He can be the one as the rest of his squad makes moves.
He lets him farm so much. He's actually going Radiance on the Juggernaut.
It's pretty good when you consider that both Wraith King and TA don't necessarily like to buy MKB. And in addition, it'll cancel Blink Daggers and provide just more magic damage. Also, another thing OG used to do, Fatal Bonds on Warlock plus Radiance. Oh yeah. That's some good stuff right there.
So everyone gets to burn from both sides, because Wraith King will have his own Radiance as well in the fights. And the item progression coming in from Thompson going into the Aghanim Scepter. He got Maelstrom, and now he's going directly into the Ags. So we're going to see that new one from Pango too.
It's so good too, especially now that it only disarms. Well, so what it does is when you're in Ags roll form, and you shield crash as Pango, you'll do an AoE swashbuckle, 2 hits instead of 4. But those can disarm. They do tons of damage. They can proc Maelstrom, and when you look at TNC's heroes, like these 2 melee cores, how do you actually play Dota into that?
They need that epicenter. Burrow Strike initiation straight to the back lines. The Soul Bind is out, however. Raw pushing him back. Lashrak, he's just going to die, surrounded by 3 heroes. There's still a 1-for-1 trade off a quick buyback, but it was the Warlock you killed off. TA has to hide herself for a moment. Another Burrow Strike forward. They need to get TA to actually attack something. Anna just moves forward, finds her for kill, and then even going to walk himself out. No, Tims will stay on him, but they break the Aegis to the Immortal. That's all they get through. And OG can keep the pressure up.
And Notel just bought back.
Yep.
He's just, yeah, they're just going to go win the game here. They
Yeah,
got Max Dora on Beastmaster.
Last one, what, took 22?
Yeah.
They'll give this one a shot. Tims with the Burrow Strike forward. At least he gets to reveal his Blink Dagger in that last fight. The rock will drop, but Tims is still under the cover. They want this rock to help beat through the tier 3 tower. And they're going to claim it, or will they? Paralyzing Cascade. It's a good Maledict onto Seb.
Anna?
Juggernaut.
Anna? What?
Way too far forward. Isolated out. Cuckoo is Novering through Thompson as well. He won't be able to escape. He tried to swashbuckle down, but he'll die. And Tims, he'll look for a JTB. Burrow strikes that tree line. He would have caught him. No doubt they'll find him there. Inside the trees, break them all down. And OG for a tier 3 tower. I don't know if that was the commitment they really wanted to make.
Dude, I'm just so, like, look, whenever you cast OG games, you got to be careful. Because they got a lot of fans, and they take it really personally if you criticize that they're their team of choice here.
Okay.
But this is weird, man, and I respect OG a lot. I love watching these guys play. That was weird. Ana just took effectively poke damage, mostly from a sandstorm, and just died. Like, he died to the Sand King stun. Just getting distracted. They had they didn't have sentries. Notel bought back. He didn't have a sentry, and there's just a Sand King sitting there the whole time. You can just kill him. They drop rock, but there's no detection. It's just weird. They get the tier 3, but they lose 3. It equalizes the game state here, and it also, you know, the Aegis advantage is gone. Wraith King is starting to come online. Gabby's got a Radiance. Like, this game is only to get more difficult for OG.
Yep. And if BKB comes up on TA, this is where I'm a little bit more off about this Radiance pick up on Ana. We saw him pushing the tier 2 tower. He got hit once by the Templar or Assassin when he did that and lost a quarter of his HP. Does Radiance even keep you alive? Tims, Epicenter, Committal coming in hard. Thompson now going to go into that Rolling Thunder, a blink away, and starts his TP. The Inkswell stun won't be there in time. So they keep OG looking towards the side while the rest of TNC will find their other opportunity. Seb, if they can hit that Rod of Atos, no, he's just out of range. The Necrobooks hold him back. Cuckoo, he takes a lot of damage because he killed the Necrobook, and with the Inkswell, they actually slow him up. Sorry, with a stroke of fate. So Cuckoo has to bottle and just start his own run back out.
Yeah, it's nice watching this game. Both teams have a tool to acquire vision. You've got the Flappy Bird on OG's side as the river changes color. I'm surprised it's the first time we've seen anybody do this in these games. And then you've got the traps all around the map placed by Armel, who's going to be finishing up his BKB pretty soon.
That is the worst color.
It's pretty bad.
Like it's like
I can't see.
It's like silk blood.
I don't know how much health the Dire Heroes have anymore.
Can you not walk over?
Ooh, DD bot for the Pango with the Ags active is very dangerous.
Can't wait to actually watch this work too.
Yeah, and remember, so if you look at the talent as well, he did go for the proper one, which is the 2-second shield crash CD when you're in ult form, and you just spam damage, and it's very important that Thompson effectively just, if he plays his hero perfectly in these engagements, OG will wipe the floor with TNC. Like, I really want to reiterate that this Ags is an insane amount of damage, and in my opinion, one of the best 3 that was added in this latest update.
I'm looking forward to seeing him use it. For now, like, TNC are just pushing the side lanes, however, so OG want to have their battle, but Gabby takes the bottom tower. You've still got the pressure on the top lane coming in from Cuckoos, and someone has to stay there.
Yep.
Like, if they don't, you can Edict burn through the tier 3 tower very quickly. There is fortification available, but you don't want to burn that either. Cuckoo begins his TP out. Ana can't stop it. But they're forced Ana to TP back, and he's still looking at this Radiance. We're 23 minutes into the game. Yeah. Obviously, this is no Alchemist, but it's still taking time.
You got to be careful, I think, because OG, their big timing is when they've got there's no BKBs on TNC. But if you look at the itemization coming out, like Armel, he's a recipe away. Gabby, he's the full BKB away, but he does have the Blink Dagger picked up. And eventually, Cuckoo will have one of his own. You got to be really careful taking an engagement once TNC have those items, because like Blitz was saying yesterday, you know, no one likes to buy BKB. But it's a game-winning item. The later you can get it, the better. By the time TNC have these all online, OG will be outmatched, and they need to try and continue to execute, get the second Roche, and get that fight that they've been waiting for.
Well, they're looking for the fight. Gabby blinks away. His Radiance is up.
And in fact, I wouldn't mind if they just like walked down mid and like looked for a fight here. I know it's difficult, but I think if you play this right, you have enough sustain and counter initiation thanks to Healing Ward, the Warlock, the Grimstroke.
Like Tim's just creep skipped out the wave again. Like the next wave that comes through.
But actually, where's the next wave?
Where is the next wave?
Yeah, this is and to all Dota players, if you want to get better, like at any stage, the thing that's most important is recognizing when you kill creep waves. You watch these good teams, look at bottom wave. There are no creeps alive, guys, and they weren't killing it where the creeps met in the lane. You kill it as close to the enemy base as possible, and you move on to do other things. It's something we did not see before, like the TI3-4 era, except for, you know, the anti-mages. Now it's understood, like, hey, we kill creeps.
Now anyone can do it as well. Like, even the support heroes always seem to have some level of wave clear or some level of escape.
Dude, there's nothing more frustrating than playing a game and watching, like, you have a huge advantage, you're in enemy jungle.
Thompson? If they can get this initial stun, and they can. Seb is nearby, but ESL will not be able to help. They were just coming over for the bounty runes too, so Seb will claim one. He's under the cover of an Invis rune, so it's still a 3-for-1 trade-up with Pango down.
And I'm going to give a shout out to Heen, because that was like a standard move.
Oh, they actually moved over. They found the kill. There is a quick silence out. Look, Tim's is not too worried about this. He's got pipe. He just actually freshly bought that before they came out for this maneuver. And not just that, Toby, they smoked for bounty runes. It's simple, it's easy, but it's something I didn't see TNC doing at the start of the year. It's just... Their drafts are good, they're talented. Just keep the game easy and just play around the natural movements. You got Roche up, so camera views. I don't think TNC can look to contest this. They're unaware. Really unfortunate spawn timing, because as I compliment them for making a good move, they're going to give away this big objective. Well, do they actually, like, do they need it? Like, if they fight OG into this when they don't have Epicenter available, when they don't have Death Ward, it's easier just to take the tier 2 tower and say, well, okay, fight inside of our base. We'll have buyback ready. Everyone but the TA has buyback available for TNC.
Yeah, I agree. And to your point, you're right, it is the right decision, because you don't have BKBs, and you're in a position where you still cannot win a fight in the Roche pit. It's the same, Warlock is probably second only to maybe Darkseer of 2015 in heroes you don't fight in the Roche pit against. Warlock, Phoenix, Undying, like anything that's got this massive area control, if you have to walk into the choke, you will lose the engagement, especially when there's a bird flying around somewhere invisible.
Yeah, like you've always got to say, like, I'm being watched.
Yeah.
Like the animals are against me. And Kuku's done a great job as well of keeping this top lane pressured up. Yeah. It's always making OG come back to their top lane, and what's he putting it into? He's putting it into that team fight sustain. You've already got the pipe from the SK. He's going for a full Greaves with the casual buckle, which also helps just push out the wave for the moment. Seb, Rod of Atos, they want to go for it. Yules have to begin with. Girax has the silence available because he used the Yules to initiate. The Roar gets split through the Soulbind. They're even dropping down the rock to ensure both of these heroes fall.
Okay, also, I was totally right, because Kuku had 2 instances of Fatal Bonds on him, by the way. I don't know why it was that time, and the
but not
TA,
the last time?
Yeah, TA did too, but he BKB'd it off. But 100% there were 2 instances of Fatal Bonds. So it is as strong as I hoped. But it means that BKBs are even more valuable. Unfortunately, Armel's is on cooldown, and our Wraith King is still the full recipe away, and this is OG's timing. They're ready to go. They still have Jug Ultimate. He's just hit level 18. Radiant's active with Aegis.
Tim's is coming back now. Does Lashrak want to buy back for this? There's your first bolt over into Ana. Remember, he's got that Aegis, the Immortal. He's got the healing wall behind, and TNC don't have an easy way of just chipping away at that. So they fortify and buy more time. 8 seconds before Lashrak is back up and running. They get rid of at least the rock. A quick stun in with the Death Ward. The damage onto Ana is pretty high. He'll actually go down this one until Thompson gets the rolling boulder in. Ana will start to spin away as Thompson just does so much damage with this north, south, east, west swashbuckling boulder.
They've held, though. That was really well done by TNC. They're using their spells just because Thompson wanted to pop ulti earlier before the stuns came out to zone to kill Rax. TNC get the damage off first, so it's more of a peel. OG didn't feel powerful enough to pursue.
Starts it off, knew that Tim's was going to initiate in the raw Soulbind again. The Soulbind came a little bit later, however.
Oh my God, the Fatal Bond!
The Fatal
I
Bond!
told you!
They have just destroyed them! That is the ultimate combination of pain. Tim's leading a hard fight with the epicenter. Anna has dropped. Remember, he's got the Aegis Immortal. He's the only one down for OG as Armel's into the back lines. They want to kill up tops and the damage won't be enough. Anna spins away to safety. A quick raid fire blast. They're focusing on the Pangolier. They know he doesn't have any kind of immunity, but he's got the cheese. He gets the life back up and the Fatal Bonds is on them once again. TNC, they can't afford to take this damage. It splits too hard across everyone. Tim's Burrow strikes in, creating more space. They spin him up. Cuckoo needs to get back underneath his towers, but Anna spinning with him all the way under the towers, all the way into their home. There is no place safe like it. Anna pushing back towards the racks. Now Tim's, he has done such a great job just delaying this one up. Red King will die. He'll actually have his way back up. Armel, he's got refraction now, back off cooldown. Thompson's in deep, the quick blink away. It obviously doesn't get cancelled while refraction is up. Here's your raid fire blast. Thompson, they have to kill him off. They have to push back OG. They're able to finally do it. The mid-ranks is lost, but you saw the power of OG.
Slow motion replay real quick. Watch
Here it is.
this, okay?
Slow it.
This is not fair.
I want it down to nothing of a second.
So the Grimstroke ult comes out, and again, it acquires target early, so it's great synergy. The double roar comes out, and here comes my man No Tail. 1, 2, and oh my god! 4 heroes evaporate. Unbelievable, and that is why we were talking about this. Just like Warlock is great synergy with spell-based mid-heroes that are cooldown dependent for their sustained DPS, Lina, Quap, Puck. Warlock helps heroes like Jug so much. You're ult dependent, your sustained DPS can struggle. But if you have a Fatal Bonds out, the Omni Slash goes from, oh, if you reduce the damage you won't win the fight, to holy crap, it's killed everyone.
Great silence. Girox able to catch up to Tim's. He was just trying to push out the lane, and with this, OG can go straight down mid and probably even end this game. Yeah. Soulbind is up. They smoke to get in as well.
Yeah, 4 heroes sharing 30% damage because No Tail talented it. That's like 120. Then you double it, 240. So every hero's taken like regular damage and then 2.5 times damage in addition.
Sure.
Good luck, have fun. And OG, they're still as powerful. They just need to hit that combo once again. Roar up in 30 seconds for Seb, but with Sand King dead, no buyback.
Gabby jumping the back lines. He's looking for him. Hey, we got our target. It's No Tail. Kill that bloody Warlock if they can get him off. Now the stuns. Here's your Soulbind catching him together. Warlock will go down. So no more Fatal Bonds in this fight. But Thompson, now he can come online. Jumping in deep. A defensive heal set from the Lashrak. Armel's caught in deep as well. They can get the stun off. And this game, it really is over. 100 seconds without the TA. Raking the only one alive. They're going to kill him outside the base, totally isolated. They'll kill him a second time as well. Silenced up, nothing the Wraith King can do. Triple kill for Anna and OG. They will be able to claim this game.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't had the GG call. There it is right there. 1-1 OG strat works perfectly.
I love it because, you know, No Tail's interview even sets this up. You talk about breaking the game, right? Finding ways to exploit the rules of Dota, things that shouldn't work, right? I actually don't know what TNC are supposed to do. Are you going to see? Like, what? There's like giggling.
This is broken. This is legitimately broken. Do I agree, Seb? If you agree, Seb.
If they get Soulbind, Roar on a Soulbinded hero, Fatal Bonds on a Soulbinded hero, like, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Not to mention, you have a Pangolier that is itemized for arguably the most damage almost any hero can do in an AoE with the Maelstrom Ags. Yep. He's just pops ults and rolls forward. That's enough. Anna honestly could have just hung out, hit buildings, and Omni slashed only for damage. They're still going to win these team fights. Yeah. Really well done by OG. This is probably my second, maybe my first or second favorite draft between EG's game 1 against Secret yesterday and this one. My favorite exploitations of new patch mechanics. Really love this, and it demonstrates why OG's been so good for so long. Yeah. It's the strategies. Yeah, as long as they can keep nailing that one. Had the easy executions as well. The series still went 1-1. TNC played terrific Dota, but my God, that's a bonded game.
Indeed. We'll talk about the exploitations and then just how good they were in that second game. But all tied up 1-1, of course, between these two teams. I guess they'll come out of this thinking that's probably about right as far as TNC and OG are concerned. But let's ask our panel members, Purge and T-Governor, back with us once more. That's, I mean, Kyle said he likes to rank these exploitations out of these. It's funny that we talk about them in that respect, but that was good. That was fun.
Yeah.
It was pretty brutal as well.
I'm not a Warlock fan. if there's a Grimstroke.
Okay, all right. That can move in with him.
Yes. I like that.
That was kind of crazy, Kevin.
I mean, it's still good, even without the Grimstroke by all means. But
With the Grimstroke, though?
With the Grimstroke, it's also... Yeah, that was disgusting. Everyone died way faster than they were supposed to.
It removes the timing that Warlock has, right? So once you use Golem, normally it's like, okay, now I step back, I've got this bonds if I have this like this guy who can go in. But now, if you have this double bonds, how do you fight? You look at your support, you're like, I'm so sorry that I'm bonded you. I'm a Wraith King, okay? I'm going to tank I'm so sorry. And this little poor support just blowing up in the background.
Yeah. I mean, you saw No-Tail's reaction at the end of the game.
Yeah, they're all.
I think they're
all laughing. Yeah.
They were. Yeah, I mean, they were talking about the same thing that we're talking about now.
It was very different than what they look like after game 1. Game 1, they're all solemn and like, oh damn, we didn't get off the floor. And game 2, I was a little bit worried about that because they had so many stunts, but they won their laning stage. The Wraith King was jungling, and then they got to do what they wanted to.
This was a very like a OG draft, right? They've got the ability to run at you. They haven't got this like core that has to sit back. They've got support duos that can be in your face and.
It was also inventive as well, though. Yeah, I mean, that's part of what No-Tail spoke about in the interview before the game, is that they are renowned for this. There have been what we call patch teams in the past. They've done well when new patches come out because they can think like this. They can theorize stuff and then put it into practice.
I think as well, the draft aside, I think the itemization also allowed them to play this well because the supports knew that their combo was all they have to do is get off the Soulbind, get off the Bonds, get off the Golem, right? And they're buying Ghost Scepters. They're just doing everything they need to do to win these games.
It's just crazy. Scoreboard on screen for you just to review some of the highlights of this particular game. 26 heroes killed over on the OG side, 17 for TNC, and yeah, I guess the stats don't really tell you how well No-Tail played on this particular game, or in fact Anna on the Juggernaut as well.
I mean, they all played really well, honestly. Yeah. Seb had a really fast Necro 3 that they're pointing out with the fast pipe. Pango had some issues in the mid lane, but he did typically fine. He still got the items he needed to get. And then Jarek's 1, 1, and 19. Yeah, they all had excellent games. And it was farming super fast.
The thing is with Thompson on mid, even when he does that kind of the weird pull, you know, that couldn't have been predicted.
What? You mean the pull that you predicted that went horribly wrong?
Yeah. So even though he does this play, that sure he's done it before, whatever. Yes. It's like he just does it. Even if it doesn't work out, he's just trying to make the game like unstable, right? Like he plays a Monkey King and he's running around the back tier between tier 2s and tier 3s, like hitting the core that's rotating from one lane to the other. Like he wants to do things that you don't think should happen in Dota, right? So then you spend so much time looking at this lane. The Witch Doctor was drawn mid. You've now got Seb now able to free farm. He's got like an extra wave or two without having this support hitting him. They can't tri-lane because of these like weird quirky things they do. Yeah. As a result of that, they then group up as 5 and they've got like this early Necro boat. They've got like this pipe eventually, and it's like, what can we do?
Is that part of the beauty of this team though? In a similar way to Secret, that they're quite happy at just giving up what looks like a good game for themselves and actually enabling others in the game. And you have to look quite hard sometimes, don't you? Because you sort of look at it in isolation, you go, he's not having a good game in that mid area, but actually he's doing things like Tim was saying, that he's freeing up other players.
It's easier for me to see it because I also do dumb things in my pub games that throws opponents off. So the playstyle really connects with me. Yeah, it's definitely effective. Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Right, let's catch up with another member of the OG team. We heard from him earlier on pre-game about how good they are in the drafts. Let's hear from the man himself. No-Tail is with Shiva.
Thanks, Paul. Dota 1 ending to that game. I want to talk about the Grimstroke Fatal Bonds combination. Was that the plan all along? Was that something that you theory crafted with the team?
So game 1 we kind of had a damage issue. We lacked a lot of damage. Second game we just decided to make up for it, and we thought about it before. Warlock's starting to become more and more meta. So yeah, man, that was a nuclear explosion, man. This Pangolier Axe with the Fatal Bonds, clap, ease clap.
But you're never gonna get that again. Or at least people are gonna see it.
I mean, the combo also has to be pulled off. They're maybe a bit awkward to have together in some laning phase and something. So I don't know if I would call it necessarily imbalanced. Warlock seems to be making a comeback. I think it's just Fatal Bonds doing Fatal Bonds things, and if Fatal Bonds is good, why not 2 of them?
Why not indeed? I mean, Warlock overall hasn't really had the best result over the last couple of games being played. Why do you think that is?
I think people are treating this as a very experimental, I mean, not tournament, but at least these days are more experimental. Just the patch hit is just the nature of things. And Warlock is seeing play because people see potential. I think that's it.
All right, I got one final question about that last game, because you guys were able to go high ground minute 19 or something, but then it still dragged out a little bit longer. What made you not able to continue that aggressive flow you had?
I mean, they have some pretty good timings going on for them as well. They managed to to pick us off, get their items, and they're split pushing really well. So it was a very risky thing to go for this high ground, because if it didn't work, the map is also going to look really bad for us. I mean, they were really good at pushing all these 3 waves in with some Radiance Illusion Rune, Sand King, and just TA traps. It was hard for us to get to the high ground and have it be a very efficient play, but yeah, I mean, they played really well. We just made second game work for us.
Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to me, and good luck with your next games, of course. And we are going to go back to the panel.
Thanks very much, Shiva. Yes, and congratulations, Dota. He seemed in quite chipper form then, didn't he? He was quite happy about that second game.
Yeah.
What's better than 1 Fatal Bonds?
2 Fatal Bonds. And he also got the Fatal Bonds talent. So each Fatal Bonds are doing 30% damage. So if there were 2 Fatal Bonds and one guy by himself is getting Omni Slash, it's kind of like everybody is being 60% Omni Slash. So that's why it was so much damage. And he had Radiance Burn going, so it was like ridiculous.
That was actually pretty disgusting.
Like, if you go back and watch, it looks like their whole team is being Omni Slash some things, which is basically what was happening. So.
We're still waiting for 2 of the other matches to finish. Of course, Vici currently winning their game against an IP. They were 1 up in that game, and Liquid 1 up against Ford. If you want to go and watch the 2 games over on BNC, we also need an MVP, gents.
Yeah, we thought probably Seb was maybe the best. It was kind of hard to pick because a lot of the
really well.
players stood up. But Seb had the hardest lane, like you said. He had a dual lane. He had good ultimates. He bought really efficient team fighting items between the Necro and the Pipe. Any other comments?
I just think in general, like the movements around the map, he just being able to take the farm he had in his lane, move into mid, take the towers, and he wasn't just like, I've got this like decent lane, I'm gonna sit here and like just farm up and just be greedy. Again, Seb's one of these players where he's quite sacrificial on the offlane.
Yeah.
He'll get what he can and then try and be part of this like kind of death ball that he naturally kind of adopt in these games. So no, I'm just really impressed with, especially as well, like around 28 minutes, he had Necrobook, Pipe, Blink, and he's like, you know what, I think we need a Vlads as well. Let's just get this game over and done with. We know we're so strong, and it's just like he wasn't being too greedy. Sure, he had the farm, but he was getting the right items and doing the right things.
Are you looking forward to your career progression matching, Sebs? I mean, you know what's next, right? After you've coached, you have to go back to playing this year, and then next year you win TI.
Ah, yes.
It's more like he has to join a team where they have like a lot of issues doing what they're
Sort
supposed
them
to,
all out.
and they're like, the only thing we haven't tried yet is making our coach play.
3. Yep.
And then it's going to go bad for like a month or 2.
Yep.
And then some more players get kicked, and then miraculously you win TI.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Also, I need to get better at the game. That also would help, but...
No, because Seb's absolutely terrible.
Oh,
That's
so
not
it's
true.
fine.
Have you seen it?
We did pity vote him the MVP, right? You know.
I'm allowed to give him grief now and again. Right, we're going to head to a break here before I get myself into too much trouble and Seb proceeds the VODs. Thank you very much for tuning in to ESL One Birmingham 2019, powered by Intel. Game 1, Series number 1 all done. Series 2 just around the corner. Might be a little bit more extended break, but bear with us. We'll bring some more action very shortly.